Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you may be in the world. And I know this is the day you've been waiting for. It's the collaboration between Harris Hill Raceway and the One Line Racing Center. My name is Dan Paples. Next to me in the commentary booth is a racing driver and a part-time commentator. Jordan Wallace, welcome in this evening. It's great to have you alongside me for what, well, will be a great evening of MX-5 Cup racing at the COTA circuit.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is awesome. Harris Hill and COTA are basically my home tracks. I live about 10 minutes away from where these guys virtually are right now, so this is going to be a fun one.
So enough expertise then to rely on. You've driven on this track in real life too. How tricky is it?
Oh, it's a fairly technical track, even though it's very wide and very flowing. It takes a lot of effort to get the most out of the track, especially in a car like these MX-5s. As you guys just saw, our 55 car went for a little loop-de-loop into turn one. It's kind of tough to judge where you want to be on track because it's so big, actually. Everything's bigger in Texas.
As they say. Some information then about this evening of racing. It's a bigger field than we're used to seeing here at the One Line Racing Center TV channel. We have about 90 to 20 cars with us this evening, and that is because some people are actually racing remote. Not everyone is racing from the One Line Racing Center. We have our usual members like an AJ Masuk racing from the One Line Racing Center community. We have people from the Harris Hill Raceway community racing with us this evening too, and that's all remote as well, and some at the One Line Racing Center physically as well. We do have 11 sims running at the ORL Racing Center, so we'll tell you in a second who's participating from the location in Texas. But enough for us to look forward to, Jordan. These MX-5 Cup cars, they are an amazing spec class, in my opinion.
Some of the best racing on the planet. Yeah, some of the best racing on the planet. Like, hands down. Like, whether you're in America or abroad, I mean, these cars put on a show everywhere they go. I've raced on IMSA weekends most recently, and in a spec class myself in Porsche Carrera Cup, which is a pretty good show ourselves. But, man, the MX-5s, they are a good time. So this is going to be a really entertaining race tonight.
I think, in my personal opinion, the MX-5 Cup, especially racing with IMSA, reached its peak in race 2 at Daytona. Massive crash, but
NASCAR level crash. Like,
exactly. That was my opinion when I was looking at it. I was like, this is some NASCAR type of stuff.
I feel like some of the drivers just didn't lift as they went into it because they're like, I'm gonna be in this crash. That's gonna be fun. Like, you know, like I'm not missing out on it. Like it's gonna go viral, right? Like oh man, no.
This was for sure one of the biggest crashes I think this class has ever seen. But it
for sure.
It creates amazing racing, and to be honest, to kick it off at Daytona with the bump drafting going on. Usually what we have is a 5-6-way battle across the line, 6 cars within like 0.5 of a second across the line for the finish. I'm expecting more of this here today. We've got long straights. We've also got a tight and twisty sector in turn 1. These Mazdas, we are racing on slick tires since we are in the MX-5 Cup cars. But these cars, nonetheless, don't quite like the twisty sectors.
No, they're a bit twitchy because they are on a I believe it's a semi-street tire. It's a DOT approved race tire basically. So, I from what I know that it's maybe a 235 or something like that. So it's not very wide. So you don't have a lot of tire to work with, and you got to keep the momentum up because if you lose it, you're out. So it makes for really entertaining, really interesting racing to watch with a lot of skill involved, a lot of momentum. So I'm excited to watch these guys get after it.
It's since we're still in practice, we're waiting for the last couple of cars to cross the finish line before we go to qualifying. I think it's time to meet our part-time commentator and full-time racing driver, Jordan. Tell a bit more about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm Jordan Wallace. Based, like you said, I'm a part-time commentator, full-time racing driver. I've raced all over the world. I've raced everything from Sprint Challenge in IMSA here in the States to DTM Trophy and SRO over in Europe. I've I've raced some of the best tracks in the world, in my opinion, and I'm a very, very lucky individual. I also coach part time, and yeah, got a lot on the horizon. Hopefully, I'm not as young as some of these guys here. Racing. I didn't get the lucky draw to start young, but I've been in the sport now for about 15 years, and think things are going well. It's my life, man. So I love this stuff, and even when I'm not racing, I get to watch awesome racing like this. So very, very, very cool opportunity to be part of this community. I think anybody who is watching, the deeper into racing you get, the better it gets, man.
All right, you're one of the fastest bronze drivers in the world too.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit. Like I'm a sneaky bronze. I've been accused of it's almost like I'm like the opposite of like the like certain people who are trying to appear to be older so that they can get into a sport or something like that. I look like I'm 25, like some people assume that I am, but nah, dude, like I've been in this game a long time. I've lived in the Austin area and worked at COTA and at Rally Ready and all these awesome places in the area for about 5-6 years. Before that, I lived in Sonoma, worked out there at the racetrack there when it was Sim Raceway, and then Audi Performance Driving School, all that kind of stuff. So I've been a part of some really awesome stuff. So, but racing is probably the best part of my job now.
Well, we have just gone into qualifying.
Yeah, we're going green
Do
in
not
quali.
worry.
Let's go.
Do not worry. The lollipop man in pit lane hasn't collapsed. He's just checking the track temp. That's what we'll say. Interesting to see a lollipop man laying horizontally on the tarmac in pit lane. But yeah, we'll just say he's checking track temps out there. Anyways, we're with Daniel Escobar. You know some of these drivers that are racing.
Yeah, I actually know Daniel
today, Jordan.
Escobar. Yeah, I know Daniel very well. Daniel is actually one of the main full-time workers at Harris Hill Raceway. He's one of the guys I believe who helped put this whole series together. So he's an awesome guy, loves the sport itself, and he's also a really good track marshal for Formula One, like at COTA, Miami, and Vegas, from what I understand. So really cool guy. I like him a lot. Very, very, very fun guy. So I'm curious to see how he races. I haven't seen him drive very much.
He's not the only person, on the grids. John Muller, another interesting one. He's a driving instructor.
Yeah.
And has done many laps around COTA, so I'm expecting him to do well today.
Yeah, we're hoping he does pretty well. Like John's similar to me. He's got a ton of laps, but he's also, he's probably closer to his AARP card than he is to college. So, simulators aren't his forte right away, but I think he's been practicing a little bit because he's getting quicker and quicker. So I'm excited to see what he throws down. In real life, he's quick, especially at COTA. So we'll see if he can adapt to the technology and the digital, the lack of G-forces and things like that, and put on a show for us.
Only a 10-minute qualifying session with a lap as long as about 2 minutes 35 for some of these drivers. Not many laps that you're gonna get. It's an interesting track to get everything right. How difficult is it in a short qualifying session like this to get your lap in?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty tough. I wasn't sure. I didn't quite see what we went out tire setting wise, heat wise, in the tires and stuff. But yeah, I mean 10 minutes here at COTA with a 2.5 minute lap. Yeah, you're hopefully going to get 3 or 4 in. These cars are momentum cars, so the more laps you run, the better off you're going to be. It's just going to get lighter. You're not going to run through the tires. So I think just running as much as you can and getting into that rhythm is going to be the key to getting a quick lap in. I don't think we're going to see lightning quick times here in quali, just because, like I said, it's a momentum car. We're probably going to see faster times later in the race, but in quali, I think it's going to be tight.
Well, the lap times that have just come in are not in any way representable of what we'll be seeing towards the end of this qualifying session. We're expecting the top times to drop somewhere below the 132s.
Yeah.
Expecting somewhere mid 31s is what we're expecting, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Mid 31s and 30. I would say maybe 32s in quality. Like I said, it's going to take a little time to get up to speed. We just saw Justin Gravitt, who is one of our quicker drivers from what we saw in practice, go for a little off course exploration. Just finding the limits. So I think going into this next couple laps is where we'll see some of the better times come in.
We'll see somewhere if we can catch a lap on board with a car 2 and let our expert of tonight take you around for a lap in these cars. Momentum cars, these are the MX-5 Cup cars. You really don't want to be bogged down in them because it takes a while to get back up to speed. We'll see if we can stick with John Meyer to give you a lap around the circuit.
Yeah, he should do a good job considering I'm one of his main coaches, so I'm hoping he does a very good job tonight, or else he's going to make me look bad. So get it together, John. Let's go. And no, like I think
no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure, John. No pressure. But no, excited to see him on the sim side. He is one of our Harris Hill Challenge racers. He actually has his own MX-5. It's an NA chassis MX-5 that races in Harris Hill's spec challenge series, and I believe he's got several wins under his belt in that series in his rookie season. So let's see what he does on the simulator.
Well, here you go.
To the top of the board. Top of the board so far.
You got your shot, Jordan. On board with Justin Gravitt. Take us round.
Into turn 1. Want to get as much as we can on the exit. Hard on the gas on the way out. Don't want to go out too wide with these cars just because you don't want to give up that momentum. You don't need to. Just want to bring it back over right under that S in the UBS, then bring it over to the left, over this curb, over back to the right curb, then straighten it out. A little bit of brake now, and then hold it. This is a long corner. Be patient, keep it in tight, keep it in tight, keep it in tight. Now back over to the left, looking up the hill, looking into the right. Now he's going to want to get on that curb right about here and then hold it, and then straight over to the left, bouncing off that curb, letting it out, using all of the track. This is one of the most treacherous corners right here. Is actually just that little downhill. It'll throw you out if you don't commit. So coming into this last little back straight before the long back straight, hard on the brakes, nice and deep, nice late apex, rotating it around, hard on the gas on the way out. He's going to run this all the way down the back straight, hugging the right-hand side for the most part. He might wander over. It's not fully straight, and it does have a little bit of elevation change. The faster cars tend to wander around because of the aero as you get going. These cars will do a little bit of that, but he's probably going to go about to the 200 and then brake, hard on the brakes. Now, looking in, releasing it smoothly, looking out, just using all the track, bringing it back over to the left to set it up. Now looking in, this is like a long right-hand U-turn. You just got to think of it as one long corner, so let it out, and then back in on that second apex. Now straight ahead, straight out at the outside, looking into the left here, let it out. It's much deeper than you think, and then rotating it around because it's tight on that exit. Then you want to bring it out into this long right-hand sweeper. There's a bit more grip. It's a double apex. You want to get this first apex, then you kind of let it out, and then you bring it back to that second apex. Now you're hard on the gas all the way around. Looking good. Looking in for that turn 18. Very nice. And then letting it out. Maybe could have run a little bit more speed in there, let it out of there. And then same thing here, hard on the brakes, down to second, in on that curb, driving it out, keeping it on the track so we don't run track limits. And that is a lap of COTA. Man, not bad. Let's see. Where'd he run? P2 at a 232.5. Not bad at all. Looks like we've got Anderson at the top. 31s. We're down in the 31s already. This is nice.
Yeah, I was expecting these 31s to come in pretty quickly. I mean, these drivers can switch it on like a switch. It's really impressive, honestly.
Yeah, very impressive. Like obviously, there's multiple different forms of software. We're using the COTA tonight, and that is a very strong replicant of the tire model that you get in these cars in real life. So I think we're going to have some pretty quick guys that adapt pretty quickly, even if they haven't been with one line before. So I'm excited for this race.
I'm looking forward to see what this race got installed for us. We've got just over a minute left of qualifying, with Anderson at the top, 2:31.829. He's about 7/10 clear of Justin Gravitt, who we are on board with.
Let's see if he can pull off an upset here in qualifying. I don't know. I think he's going to get this lap in, and that's it.
Yeah, this will for sure be his last lap, and I don't think many people will get in an extra lap.
No.
One thing's for sure, Chase Anderson is going to get another one. He's got about 43 seconds left on the clock as he crosses the start-finish line. Can he improve on that 31.8 he's got? He can't,
no.
and that's qualifying done for him.
Yeah, okay. So he
That's an
pitted.
early exit.
He's going with it. He's sticking with his early time. I get it. You know, save the energy for the race. I get it.
I mean, that's a pretty strong time, especially, like you said, it takes a little bit of time for these cars to get into their own. A 31.8.
Yeah.
I mean, it took us, I think, the best part of 25 minutes to get down to the 31s in practice. So that's a quick time here at the start of quali.
For sure. I think I'm very impressed that they got it down into those times. I'm curious to see where we're going to end up with this last group right here. Last few guys. Anybody going to hold each other up? We're on with Jake Spittle. Jake Spittle was pretty quick in practice. Let's see if he can get around to get a nice qualifying time in, because right now he's sitting P9, not where we thought he would start.
No, that was some great racing also by Jake. A great switch back there. Not always great to see that in qualifying, but I don't think, honestly, it lost him too much time. Was able to take his normal line through there.
Looked fair. So I think you know, if anything, the car behind went a little wide, opened the door up, so he took advantage. And let's see if he can pull it off with this last lap coming across the line.
P3 in the minute.
Up to P3. Good job. Okay. All right.
Not bad. 32.3.
Couple more guys, Luis.
Oh, Gravitt. Look at the top, though, Jordan.
Oh, my goodness.
Less than a tenth of a second.
Luis Rogers was going for it and went a little tight at the last apex and just sacrificed too much. Here comes Redbeard. I like the name. Let's see if he can put down a good time.
We've got a couple of interesting names in here. We'll walk through the order as soon as we end qualifying to go over the grid. But Redbeard
up a little bit to P16 so far. We're on with Adam West now, Mayor Adam West. Adrian Garcia.
I think Adam already finished qualifying. I think Adrian Garcia is one of the last cars to cross the line.
All right. Can he throw down a time to get him off the bottom of the time charts?
He's on a 2:52.6 at the minute. We'll need to improve by quite a lot, but I think he's got it in him.
Yeah, for sure. In practice, we saw a bit better of a performance, so I think it's there. It's just tough to put it together in the qualifying, you know? Just tough to put it together in the qualifying. So let's see how it goes.
High pressure situations, right? You know all of it.
Oh man, it's no joke, especially trying to throw down when you only got a couple laps in quali, man. That's tough. It's tough.
Well, that was quali for you.
There it is. All right. Looks like we got Anderson on top with a 2:31.82, just 700ths clear of Gravitt. Oh my goodness.
And
man,
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I saw the track for tonight, especially COTA, it's a long track, right? You're expecting the gaps to be a little bigger than they are usually. And let's be honest, if we look through the rest of the field, they are. But for the top two, it's for sure not. It's 700ths of a second. And Anderson takes the pole position ahead of Gravitt on the front row. Then it's Spittle and Escobar on the second row of the grid. Mayer and West fill up the third row of the grid. Masek and Cardenas are going to fill up the fourth row of the grid. Then it's Madavi and Nukala in the fifth row of the grid. Muller and Rogers on the 12th row of the grid. Then we've got our 7th row of the grids with, well, to be honest, not any names that I know
call them
of.
alphabets. That's the alphabet soup row.
The alphabet row then.
The alphabet
row
row.
number 7.
T,
It's
F, and M.
Wurchan and Redbait or Redbait on row 8 of the grid. Mignon and Sievers on row 9 of the grids, and then Garcia on his own on row 10 and last on the grid. Let's see what he can do in the race. Excited to see what he can do. A 19 car field. It's a strong grid here today. Bigger grid than what we're used to seeing. Let's hope we're going to see some great racing here today, especially with the top 2 being only 700ths of a second separated in qualifying. I'm expecting them in the early stages of the race to try and run away and create a little bit of a gap for themselves.
I agree. I think we'll hopefully, if they're smart, we'll see them all working together, and we'll see a good fight at the front. I think the front 5 to 6 guys could potentially stick with each other if they give the front 2 a good run in these first couple laps. If not, we could see a runaway.
Waiting for our not 5 but 6 red lights. Yes, Jordan, we get the luxury of 6 red lights in the Assetto Corsa.
Okay. That's
just
classy.
if you wanted to build some extra more tension. You know?
Yeah, that's classy. that's called budget right there. You know.
Here we go.
Lights on.
As soon as they're out on their way, that's now. Chase Anderson from the front of the field leads us to the green flag. And it's Gravit alongside him. A good start on the second row from Spittle 2. He's going to look to the outside of turn 1. Turn 1 always a place for controversy, but always a place for good overtaking. The top 3 keep it clean. The car out wide. I think that's Madavi. Yeah, I think that's Madavi going out wide. Escobar taking advantage of it. It's Mayer in 6th, staying in the position where he was in at the start. West staying in 7, Cardenas in 8, Rogers 9th, Nucala jumping up into the top 10.
Beautiful. We had a little bit of a half spin towards the back of the pack in turn 1, but nothing crazy. I think everybody got out of there clean, and now we get to go racing. Let's go, boys.
25 minutes of racing. Yeah, boys and girls, we've got girls on the track here today with us too, which is amazing to see. Yeah. I'm only supporting it. It's we need more of them. Let's be honest.
You know, like as a driver of color myself, you know, like diversity and inclusion is a big thing on my list. And in all honesty, that's one of the best things about racing is, like, you know, the car doesn't know what race, gender, or anything that you are. It just knows how to go fast if you can make it go fast. So just like we're seeing right here, Jake Spittle going for the pass from P2 on Gravit down the back straight. I love it.
The question is, do you want to do this with this long of a race to go?
Yeah, 23 minutes left in the race, 23 and a half minutes. Looking inside, he's going to definitely take the advantage here, but will he be able to get the over-under done going back into the right?
Something that we haven't seen in qualifying.
He gets it done.
That the slipstream will come into effect too. Spittle does indeed get that move done on Gravit. Gravit's struggling, it seems like, in the early stages of this race. Maybe not quite generating the tire temps the other drivers have been able to generate. Spittle goes for a bit of a wide moment. Gets a bit of a wiggle on. My idea was that Spittle wasn't going to overtake Gravit because they were going to let Anderson run away. But it looks like none of that at the minute. Gap still 7/10 only at the front of the field. Escobar catching up to this top 3 battle too. We're going to see a lot of this, I think.
Our P1, our Anderson just went a little wide out of 19. And it looks like these guys are going to stay with him. I'm loving this so far. Like, really smart racing. We've got a bit of movement at the mid-pack. We've got some guys up. Somebody's a little bit off. Who is that? That's going to be the 87, John Meyer. Meyer's falling down the field. He's going to have to fight his way back now. He was up, like, I think P6, P7 at the start of the race. So hopefully he can fight his way back. Put on a racing show for us.
You can put to the track what his coaches learned him.
Yeah. Let's see. We're back on board with Gravit. Let's see if he can get back to Spittle. I think that you know, with the slipstream going down the back straight, we may see some trading off for a while, unless they're smart and they push each other back up to Anderson, which is what I would be pushing for. But like right here, he's going to go for it again, and this is going to slow them down. I just don't know if that's the smart thing right now with Anderson being so smooth out front. It's like, I think they should work together.
Justin got a mega run coming out
Yeah.
of 8. And it shows you that everywhere on this track, really, with an MX-5 is an overtaking opportunity. Now comes that long back straight. They have allowed Anderson to build a gap of around a second. Gravett, if he wants any chance, I think, of catching up at this point in time, he's going to have to push Spittle. So let's see if the two at the front of the field are going to work together to try and catch up to Anderson. But Toad not doing quite as much as I was expecting it to do down this back straight. These MX-5 cars are
Gotta be a little
more
closer,
toe.
I think. Yeah, like it
Yeah.
just they're because of the open top. You know, if they're doing the arrow right on this. Oh, hold on, big mistake out of the exit there by Spittle, and grab it right back in this.
Well, it has allowed Anderson to build a gap of around 1.5 seconds.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I
It's
was
like you guys
afraid
gotta
of.
work together. Oh, he's going for it inside. Oh, they're gonna hit. They're gonna touch.
There's the contact. Gravett slamming it up the inside of Spittle. Spittle having none of it. But Gravett was done with letting Anderson run away. He's seeing his chance of a victory this evening. Run away in the distance. 2 seconds is the gap between Anderson and Gravett now. Let's see, Jordan, if he can close this up. 2.1 is a massive gap already here to close up in these early stages of the race, especially with pressure from behind. Escobar now going to try and get past Spittle 2 to get that last spot on the podium. Further back, there's a battle between Mayer, who's already trying to find his way back through the field.
Wow,
You've
yeah,
been in
moving
this
up.
position yourself, trying to
Yeah.
get through a field. What's the most important thing here? Just to keep your head cool and just, you know, stay
I
calm.
would say just click off the laps and literally treat it like you know I tend to treat it like it's like hunting or like I'm a fighter pilot. It's like just next target, you know, never looking back, always looking forward, just trying to make up those spots because that's all you can do, you know. Right now, John Mayer moving up the field. He had dropped down to like 16th or 17th, and he's back up in 13th now. We're looking good. Jake Spittle fighting his way back to Gravett. Gravett 2.3 behind now. I really think these guys should try to work together to push each other up to him if they can, you know. Ooh, pushing a little wide. These guys are pushing a little hard. I would definitely suggest same thing, you know, settle in. Try to get into a rhythm and just click off good laps. That'll help you get back to Anderson's back bumper.
Listen to the overdrive in a minute or at the minute, just to try and really close up that gap to Anderson. It seems like...
Somebody going off right in front of Meyer. Looks like Sievers just went, or Werchen just went off.
I think it was M who went off.
Yeah. And Meyer has just inherited 12th place, so he's now moving up again. Okay.
Well, there you go. That shows you don't always need to overtake the driver ahead. Sometimes just being there and putting on the pressure will... Whoa!
Exactly.
Big
Another
snap
big
in the
moment.
background. I think that was, Madavi who got past this time round, and it's once again M not having the best of it this lap around. This has been a torrid lap for M. It feels crazy to call someone by just one letter, but that is what we're going to have to go with this evening. I have no clue which real name is behind that letter. It's
just M. Okay.
We'll call him the Steak for tonight.
Yep. No, he's driving well now. He's fighting his way back. TF is all the way up to 7th. That's pretty good. Jake Spittle still fighting out back in P3. Daniel Escobar has dropped off a little bit now and is starting to, I guess, try and settle back in to get back up with them. Maybe still fight for a podium. Little bit of dirt action. Anderson comes out of the last quarter. Maybe they can get back up to him. They just need to work together right now. You know, like I really, if I was them, I would be just, you know, work together. See, right now he's going defensive. No need for that. Like, just work together. Push each other back up to him. The only way you're going to cut that 3-second gap is pushing each other back up to him. Or maybe some lap traffic that acts really silly. So
We're seeing some lap traffic up ahead already.
Yeah.
It's the gap closing to Anderson.
The gap is closing to Anderson, but I can see up in front of Anderson. There's already cars.
This is very early in this race that we're encountering lap traffic already. Cooper doesn't seem to have the best of it so far. He's at P20. Oh, we've got 20 cars now in the field.
Okay.
This is not something I was expecting. I saw 19 at the end of qualifying, and we've got 20 in the track now. Cooper, welcome in. Always great to see you. Always great to have more. The more the merrier, right?
Heck yeah. That's it. We're trying to grow the sport, you know, like even if you're jumping in late, we love seeing the enthusiasm and the willingness to just get in and provide more good racing for all our fans.
If anything, if you're late,
Spittle's gonna go for a move here. I don't know why. I just wouldn't be. You know, I feel like I'm Tom Brady in it right now.
No, I agree with you, Jordan here.
It's just work together, guys. They're so close to him now. You've cut the gap back down to under 2 seconds, but you're racing each other, and that's gonna kill the lap times.
Oh, well, you say that with lap traffic getting in the way of Anderson.
Did help, but now he's getting in their way. He's blocking the inside here.
It closed the gap to about 1.4, but then it opened up the gap to about 2 seconds again. I feel like an endurance racing commentator here. Traffic gives, traffic takes, and it did there too. But Spittle, once again ahead of Gravit. This is a great battle between the two. However,
he's getting away again. Anderson's
me as a sim driver and you as a real life driver, we're biting our nails here. We're thinking, boys, work together. You can easily get back up to Anderson and make it a fight for the lead here.
Yes.
50 minutes left of racing. You're not going to win this race now, are you?
Right. Yeah. I mean, now you can see Anderson, the moment he cleared that, like, is opening up the gap a tenth a corner almost. So, like, he's fighting really well. Here's Luis Rogers looking for a move around the outside. A little bit late on the brakes. Catches it. Let's see if he can make it. And there's AJ Massock going for a move. It's going to be a three-man battle through here. He pushes him wide. Oh, and he moves it back over. Massock is going to make the pass, I think.
Yeah, AJ Massock back past Rogers and up into ninth. I was expecting AJ Massock to be somewhere in the top 5 when we do see him racing in, for example, a Community Cup or championships organized by ORL. It's well, he's usually up there in the top 3 or top 5. So I was expecting to see him a little bit higher up, but having a difficult race so far, trying to work his way through the field. Let's look at the run that Gravit got through turn 8 again. This seems to be a point where Gravit is consistently quicker than Spittle up ahead. Look at the exit out of 9. Spittle with a snap, and the contact between the two gap up to 3.3.
Yeah.
And it looks like, well, they've thrown away the battle for the lead. At this point, I would say, let loose, boys. Go for second.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, let loose. If I'm Daniel Escobar, I'm begging them to battle him. Like, please. Like, and there's Massock for another move. Moving up another position through one of the most sketchy parts of the track. What a move.
Yeah, turn 8 and 9 has proven a real overtaking opportunity here.
Oh, he's going to fight back.
Looking for the overtake. There you go. That's a proper racing right there. He saw that coming from a mile off, didn't he? Yeah. He knew that Nicola was never going to make that corner. Opened up the inside, let him go wide, made the switch back, and Massock got the run onto the straight. Opens up that gap to about a second. Next up on the list is TF, one of our other stick racing drivers here this evening. We don't know who's underneath the mask, but that might be the fun of it too. We're looking with Arthur Werchen at the moment. He's trying to overtake for P11, that's Severs in the purple livery on the right-hand side. They're equal going into the braking zone for what is turn 11.
Tough braking zone, especially if you're offline. Oh man, the overrun.
He gets the pass done though.
Yeah, he does. Good job. Good job. And he's just one spot out of a points-paying position in a lot of series, as we like to say.
as in the background there, Jordan. I saw that happen in the background. Look at this red bit. Lost 2 positions in the braking zone for turn 12.
Goodness.
Rogers and Madavi got past him. So the two of them now fighting it out for P13. This is awesome racing here at COTA. Well, these, like I said at the top of the show, these cars provide us with amazing racing. And with a wide open track like COTA, it's, well, almost every corner becomes an overtaking opportunity. Nicola goes back past AJ Massock, though. He's not quite done with this fight yet.
Whoa, okay, yeah. No, these, like we said at the beginning of the race, these cars provide such a good show when it comes to racing. All over the track, up and down the grid. Loving this racing. He's defending for his life right now. They're gonna go 3 deep into this, basically.
Oh,
The
there's another
crossover.
cutback from Masick. This is a great switch back. A lovely textbook move from AJ Masick to take P8 back from Nakala. Meyer in the background thinking, boys, just keep fighting. I'll take both of you if I get a chance.
Exactly. He's biding his time, being smart, fighting his way back up to that starting position that he was in. I know he had a bit of an incident early on, but this has been a heck of a run from Meyer, too. He's working Nukala right now, trying to get by him, working the outside. That's gonna stick. That's gonna stick. Oh, little
inside
touch,
for 9. The
little touch.
contact's there. Meyer gets past Nakala. And he dropped 2 positions in the span of a lap. Nakala now going to have to look and fight back. AJ Masick, though, is long gone.
He's
now has
gone.
an 8-10 gap now for him to TF up ahead. And he's closing that. He's in the toe, too.
Yeah, he's all over him. He let that fight behind him clear him quick, and he just focused forward to that TF character up ahead of him to try and take away that number 7 position. I love it.
Here's the battle for 7th.
Tavo.
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 Tavo F. There you go. Yeah.
Tavo, what a cool name. Nice name. I like it. Tavo is driving well. He's going to have to drive well these last 10 minutes, though, because Masick is on a tear right now.
Yeah, I can't quite remember or have any type of idea of what happened to Masick at the beginning as we see Madavi go for a move on Rogers. These two have been fighting it out for the whole race basically now, and Madavi gets passed up into 13th, coming out at 12 into what is a bit of a Mickey Mouse sector even in these cars. Tricky to overtake, but if you do overtake it, well, you write yourself down in the book of legends. That's a bit wide though for Luis Rogers.
Overly ambitious
pay the price
there.
for that. Yeah, paying the price for that. Gap opens up to about a second. Gonna have to work hard to close that gap back up. Sanjeev Nukala on the back of Meyer. These two can't stop fighting either, but Meyer still trying to come back through the field. Getting held up a little bit here. If Nukala is smart here, it's gonna work together with Meyer.
Looks like they're going to battle it out.
Turn 1.
Proper MX-5.
Just a little bit too far back.
Yeah. Proper MX-5 etiquette I'm finding is that you just keep battling it out. You never work together. You just battle and battle and battle wherever you are. You know, I mean, I think, you know, for us as fans, this has been amazing. Like, this is one of the best races I've watched this year. This is great.
Oh, there's the contact between Masick and Tavo. He gives the position back, though, doesn't overtake. That's sportsmanship for you right there.
Good job, but that does get them caught right back up to now Meyer and Nukala are back in the mix.
He isn't right. The inside for 8 will become the outside for 9, and AJ Masick indeed isn't. It's just a little bit too much to ask from the car, and there comes Meyer flying through.
Meyer's going to push the issue going into this last corner. Oh, he's going to get turned. Oh, no! Oh.
Oh no, both get turned!
Nukala returns the favor as like he's Meyer's teammate or something like that. He's like, I'm not having that.
I'm not gonna let you go with that. And that is both of them trying to make a comeback through the field. Both of them down the order again, and they can start all over again.
Man, oh man, what a crazy happening right before. I thought Meyer made a great move to get in front. Obviously, his momentum wasn't quite enough, and he was getting shoved from behind, and that's always tough because it lifts the back end up off the tires, and then you have no control over that back end moving around as much as you kind of saw.
I think it was just a little bit too eager to get back over to the right-hand side to open up that turn 11 to get a good run onto the straight. It was just a little bit too eager to come back over to the left-hand side.
Whoa,
Anderson
just dropped to third.
Oh, our leader of the race has had a problem.
Our leader of the race has had an issue.
Look at that, fighting doesn't matter. What do we know, Jordan, in the booth?
Oh my goodness.
There's a reason we're up here. Let the professionals fight it out on track.
Right?
Spittle up into the lead.
Let's go. Way to fight Spittle and Gravit. You guys have definitely inherited it properly. That's what you want. You guys earned that, man. Anderson's going to have to work his butt off now with only 6 minutes, 6:45 left to go. I don't know if he's got enough time.
I would love to know what happened there. Sadly, no replays available to us yet. Something we're actively working on at the RL.
It
center.
looks like he went off in either 18 or 19, potentially. He looked to be gathering it back up on the last corner
Yeah.
before the front straight, so.
Yeah, I would say 19.
Yeah,
The
man.
second to last
Shoot.
corner on the track. And, well, it's easily done, let's be honest. And
Yeah.
He
This is
didn't
not
have
an easy
much of a
track.
gap.
And he had been in such a good rhythm up to that point. It's so easy to just have one little bobble or mistake and your whole rhythm gets thrown off, and then you're off track. And I think he did a great job gathering it back up and only losing 2 positions. Right now, still they are in sight, so you never know what could happen.
Well, that battle between Spittle and Gravett has calmed down a little, but it's all of a sudden brought, well, a whole new dynamic to that battle. It's now a battle for what is the lead of this race. Gravett is now, well, he's kicking himself that he's about 2 seconds back on Spittle. Looking at qualifying, the gap was about 8 tenths between these 2 drivers, and that was in the favor of Gravett, so I wasn't expecting Spittle to quite pull as much of a gap as he has done so far, but that shows you that with that short of a qualifying, we did have a bit of a mixed up grid, and, well, Spittle much quicker than he was shown in qualifying.
For sure.
Luis Rogers still in the back of Madavi here, and getting a good run onto that straight. That slipstream's going to work lovely for Luis here.
Yep.
He's probably going to move or look for a move here going into 12.
So. Let's see if he can get it done. You want to wait a little bit longer. Right after this awning that you go under. Yep, moving out. That's smart right there. And then just outbrake him. Just same place. Just kind of, a little late.
No!
Hold it.
Oh! Almost performing a slide jump on the road course. That would have been the pass of the race.
Oh my goodness! If he
she
could have
would've
pulled that,
off.
if he could have pulled that Tokyo drift off, that would have been incredible. I thought he almost had it held, but I think, you know, Madavi definitely did a great job avoiding him and getting back into the position in front. Good job.
Oh my God, Vin Diesel was watching and he was learning.
That's too funny.
Luis Rogers coming out of turn 12. That would have been a move of the race. Sadly, couldn't quite pull it off. But crucially, I would say, still on the back of Madavi, still in with a shot of 12th place. Once again, a little bit out of shape coming out of 19, going into 20. Last corner on this track, rounding off the final corner for what is, I think, the second to last time. No, we've got 2 more laps to go here, I think.
2 more laps. Beautiful.
Not much racing to go here. And Gravett slowly but surely closing up that gap at the front. Luis Rogers once again going to look to the inside of turn 1, breaking late for Madavi. A little too late.
He
Booked
pushed
him off the
Madavi
race
wide
in
there. That
9.
was good. That was good. He's right alongside. I know it doesn't seem like it, but he's technically alongside. He's going to tuck back in pretty close behind, and I think through the S's he may have a shot. Oh!
Oh no! Tavo in 8 with a massive crash. Luckily it's in a sim, but if Tavo's racing at the One Line Racing Center, he'll definitely be feeling that in the motion we've got there.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Did he lose a position, or did he keep? He didn't lose a position. Impressive.
I think he did
one.
to AJ
He lost
Masick,
one.
yeah.
He lost one. Okay.
AJ Masick, just hold on for a minute here.
Right?
AJ Masick, after that spin he had, up into P8 again. Meyer, not any worse off either. He's up into 10th. Oh,
Luis
Rogers,
with another
Luis
spin.
Rogers.
Oh,
and another spin.
Who is that?
That's for M. That's for
him.
the
Oh,
stake.
my goodness. Jeez, it's getting greasy out there. It looks to me as the rear tires are spent, especially if you've been over driving. The rear tires are spent now, and we're seeing those effects.
AJ Masick off in front of Tavo. Yeah, rear tires, rear tire grip comes at a premium at the minute.
Not bad, not bad. This middle pack has been giving us a show, guys. I've been very impressed with this group. Lots of good racing.
It's sad. It's already almost over here,
I
Jordan.
know.
I would have loved to see more of this racing.
Yeah, we got to get this going more often, man. We need this every week. This is rad.
Yeah, I mean we're gonna have it at least once every month. That's for sure. I can walk you through the calendar as soon as we finish this race. The gap in front of the
Fantastic.
field, though, coming down. Look at that, 1.11 seconds
1.0.
between
Oh,
Spindle
okay.
and Gravit. What's happened to our leader of the race? 7
He's
tenths
still
of a
he's still
second.
beating him through this section. Gravit is so much quicker than Spittle through this section.
Going on to turn 9 now, exit of 9, going into 10, through to 11. This is the battle for the lead of the race. White
One
flag
more
is
lap.
out. Gravit, last lap of the race, 9 tenths of a second. He's back in slipstream range.
Oh baby, yeah, what a great exit he just got too. He is in slipstream range for sure. Let's see how aggressive he is into this one. I don't think he's there yet. I would wait, get the run up to him into this corner, and then make a move through that next stadium section, that 14, 15, 16 area. Let's see what he does.
He's tucked up right behind him, going into 12. He's just a little
No
too
need
far
to move.
back.
Yep.
Can he close the gap on their braking? Yes, he
Good.
for sure
There he
can, and he's
does.
going for it. Look
Yeah,
at that,
let's
the apex
go.
speed, so much higher than that of Spindle. He's not going to close up.
Let's see how
through
smart he
the
can be through here.
Stadium section. This
Good
is
steady.
turns 13, 14, and 15. He's a little too far back here. I think he's going to have to wait and maybe perform a move into the last
Spittle goes
corner.
defensive though. Gets a good run.
He's
This
fitting
is
the
where
mirrors.
It's gonna come down to the last couple corners.
He's fitting the
Let's
mirrors
go.
of Spindle up ahead through the last couple of corners now, 16, 17, and 18. This is always a place where you want to keep it tight to the right-hand side, but it looks like Spindle
He's
is doing
threatening.
enough at the minute. Around the final 2 corners
Last
of
corner,
the race,
last
19
corner.
and 20.
Last
Half
quarter,
a
he's
second
gonna go for it.
between
He's
them.
gotta go. He's not gonna be
Just
close enough.
Having a look, but it's not going to be
Not
enough.
gonna be enough.
Out of the final
Oh.
corner, a little bit of a snap on the exit, but it's going to be Spindle on the front of the field, taking the win home at COTA. 3 tenths of a second is what separates the top 2
Man.
at the end of a 25-minute race. Here's the battle, though, between Meyer and TF. These two haven't given up yet. Tavo's going to have the outside for 16, 17, and 18 here.
Oh, John tries to be defensive, running him wide a little bit, getting a little bit of a gap going to these last corners. As long as he's not in his mirrors, I think you can definitely defend this and do okay. Just don't be in your mirrors. Keep your eyes up. Let the speed run. Ooh, he's a little wide there. He's a little wide there.
Looking in the mirrors, he is Tavo, making him look, but also for Tavo, a little
See if
too
he can get it
little, too
done.
late.
Dang.
The line comes up early out of the last corner.
It sure
and
does.
That's it. Top 10
What a
is
race.
confirmed. But AJ Masick and Meyer with both getting, well, dropped down the field at least
Yeah.
twice in this race, finding himself in both the top 9 and
Whoa.
for Masick a top 8 position. Who's down in the background? That's Ed going wide. Rogers
Yeah,
trying
standing
to
it.
keep that car on the road too. My goodness, what an evening of racing we've been given here, and that is
incredible.
almost everyone across the line already. Mignon, the last one to come across the line. Jessica rounds off the last corner. Across
Great
the
job
line,
by her
she
as well,
goes.
man. This was great. I mean, we had shows up and down the grid all race long. Unfortunate for Anderson that he couldn't capitalize on that big lead that he had created, but made for great racing towards the end. What a race between Spittle and Gravit at the end. That was awesome.
Yeah, I think it's a story of just too little, too late between Spittle and Gravit. It was amazing to see that battle at the front of the field. In the end, though, Anderson leading or losing what was, well, his race to take. It was his race to lose, and losing it he did with about 3 laps to go. Went wide coming out of 19, and that's in the end what lost him a top 2 and a win in this race. Taking that window is Spittle ahead of Gravit, and Anderson rounding off the podium. Then it's Escobar and West rounding off the top 5. Cardenas and Nukala in 6th and 7th. AJ Masick in 8th. Meyer 9th. And TF Tavo in 10th. That's your top 10 for this evening. Real quickly, though, Jordan, we're going to run through the calendar that we have. Because on March 4th, we'll be back. And we'll be going to, well, a track that I've been looking forward to seeing on the calendar. We'll be going to Harris Hill, and we'll be driving it clockwise in Not the MX-5
Oh
Cup,
man.
but in the Spec Miatas. Then on April 1st, we're back at Harris Hill, but we'll be driving it counterclockwise. Not many tracks in the world, in my opinion, that you can drive both ways because of safety issues. Well, Harris Hill is one of those tracks that you can do without. Spec Miatas there too. Then we're back in the MX-5 Cup car at Laguna Seca on the 13th of May. Already looking forward to that, seeing these cars and seeing these drivers go through the corkscrew. June 17th, we're back at Harris Hill clockwise with the Spec Miatas. July 15th, Harris Hill counterclockwise with the Spec Miatas. Then back in the MX-5 Cup cars for VIR on August 12th. September 16th, Harris Hill again. October 14th, once again back at Harris Hill. Then November 11th, Road Atlanta in the MX-5 Cup cars. December 16th, rounding off the championship at Harris Hill clockwise in the Spec Miatas. Enough racing this year then to enjoy for you. At least one race on average per month. So I'm looking forward to seeing the championship unravel. Will we have you back though, Jordan, for March 4th?
Yeah, I'll be back for March 4th for sure. I don't have any scheduling conflicts that evening, I believe. So, yeah,
and
I'm
even
happy
if you
to be
do,
back. Yeah,
this is way more important than anything
of course.
that you've got on your schedule.
Yeah, way more. I mean, obviously, right? Like, I mean, I got to be here to see what goes down next between Spittle and Gravit. Like, we got to see what unfolds. So this has been awesome. Like, I've had a great time. I really appreciate all you guys having me out. One Line Racing, Dan, Harris Hill, everybody involved. It's just been really fun.
Well, it's been amazing to commentate alongside you in the booth, Jordan. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. Like I said, we'll be back on March 4th with more Miata Cup racing. Until then, stay safe, and we'll see you at Harris Hill. Goodbye.
Cheers, guys.